Alright guys, welcome back, and we're going to be looking at simple statistical charts, and these are the three particular charts we're going to be focusing on: pie charts, bar charts, and line charts. And of course we're going to be focusing on pie charts first. Now these are the easy statistical charts, very simple to interpret, very simple in terms of responding correctly to the question. Unlike the cumulative frequency curve and histogram and frequency polygon, those three types of charts are far more technical to do than these three that we're looking at here. So these are very simple statistical charts. So the first one we're going to tackle is going to be the pie chart. So let's take a look at the first question here, and I'm just going to pull 2 pages here because it's one entire question so you can see what is happening. Alright, and I'm going to be pointing out a couple of things that students normally make errors with, so that you don't make errors with those yourselves. Okay, so here it is that we have example 1 looking at, and this is an example of a pie chart, right? Some of you would be accustomed to this with IT in generating pie charts from the Excel spreadsheet, etc. But we're going to be looking at the mathematical aspect of it that would involve direct calculations on paper. Now it says the pie chart above shows the distribution of revenue earned by a beverage company from the sales of soda, milk, and water. You can clearly see here that the pie chart is addressing 3 types of beverages. The sector here, that is 240 degrees, is for water. The sector here, which is 30 degrees, for milk, and soda here, well, the degree or the angle is not given, but of course you can figure that out because the entire circle must be 360 degrees. So if this is 240 degrees and 30, we can add that and then determine what that value is over there. So it says the pie chart above shows the distribution of revenue, that is money earned by the sales of these beverages. So the pie chart above shows the distribution of revenue earned by a beverage company from the sales of soda, milk, and water last year. The total revenue earned from the sales of all 3 beverages last year was $7.2 million. Determine the amount earned by each beverage. So we're going to go ahead and do that calculation. So we are to determine the amount of money each beverage actually earned out of this $7.2 million. So let's take a look at trying to work out this question here. Alright, so we're going to get into the solution of example 1. And it's very simple. Let me turn it this way. And let me get the working out done. So the solution here to question or example 1. Now remember, we are dealing with 3 beverages: water, right? We're dealing with milk, and we're dealing with soda, and we're trying to determine the amount of money earned by each of these 3 beverages. Very straightforward. And of course, if there was a paper 2 that you're doing, you'd have to show the calculations very clearly. Obviously with paper 1, no, you still have to work it out, but then your accuracy is dependent on which option you're selecting in the multiple choice question if you're given a question on pie charts. Alright, so remember the angle for water is 240 degrees. So look carefully now. So it would be 240 degrees over 360 degrees, right? Because we want to know what fraction of the $7.2 million based on the angle of the sector water would have generated for the company. Now, this is the part that students normally mess up. It says 7.2 million was the total earned by all 3 beverages. Now, you can't put 7.2 here, all right? I've seen where students put 7.2. 7.2 is 7.2. It says 7.2 million, and 7.2 million is this. That's 7.2 million. A 7 and a 2 and 5 zeros. Now I've seen where a person just puts literally 7.2 here, and then of course if it were paper 2, they would lose marks straight from that. All right, so you have to put the the 7,200,000 literally as a figure written down if you're doing a paper 2. All right. So you have to be extremely, extremely careful with that. Now, it is best that you break this down. All right. So 240 over 360, I think 120 can go into 240 2 times, and 120 can go into 363 times the 7,200,000. And of course, this is the same as that over 1. We will multiply numerators and then multiply denominators. So 2 times 7,200,000. All right, you just quickly punch that on your calculator, and that would be, I'm multiplying the numerators, so that would be 14,400,000. All right, and it's good to break it down with the commas and so on to see what the actual figure is. And of course, 3 times 1 is 3, and then you simply do that division on the calculator, and you'll end up with a total of 4,800,000. So what does this represent? The amount of money generated from the sales of water, because of the sector being 240, the amount of money earned by water is 4,800,000. And for milk, the procedure is the same thing. So remember, for milk now, milk had a sector of 30 degrees, and there's a 30 degrees right there for milk. So we're going to simply put 30 degrees over 360 degrees times the 7.2 million, which is 7,200,000. You must write it out. That's very, very important mathematically, of course. Regardless of whether you're doing paper 1, things must be done properly. Because if you do the incorrect practice, then it's going to become a routine that you do the incorrect thing in the actual, when the scenario is actually real, when you get to universities, etc. All right, so we need to break down 30 degrees over 360. I think that is 1 over 12 times the 7,200,000, which is that over 1. Multiply numerators again by numerators, so it's 7,200,000, because 1 times that is the same figure, and 12 times 1 is 12, to give us a final amount that looks like 12 into 72 6 times, so that looks like 600,000. All right, so the amount of revenue generated from the sales of milk alone would give you 600,000. All right, just double checking that, 600,000. Now remember that the total amount was 7.2 million. The total amount is 7,200,000. So of course we can simply add these two. 4.8 million plus 600,000 will give you 5.4 million, or 5,400,000. And when you subtract 5,400,000 from 7,200,000, you're going to get about 18 million. So that would be the amount generated from soda. So you simply add these two. All right, since it's three beverages in question, you simply add these two and then subtract it from that to give you the 1,800,000. So you can do it that way, that's fine. Or you can go ahead and just know that for soda, seeing that the angle wasn't given for soda, this is optional. Of course, we've already found the answer by simply adding these two and subtracting it from the 7.2 million. But to go the long route, just to show you that it works out. Soda, to find the angle in the soda sector, we simply add the angle 240 and 30 to get 270, and then subtract that from the 360 degrees. So the angle, let's just get that out of the way first of all. The angle 360 degrees minus the sum of 240 degrees plus 30 degrees, that would give you 360 degrees minus 270 degrees. So the angle for soda would be 90 degrees. So we'd simply use 90 in the formula, which is 90 degrees over 360 degrees times the 7,200,000, and 90 into 360, that's a quarter, times 7,200,000, which is that over 1. So that would be 7,200,000 divided by 4 to give us 4 into 7 one times, carry 3. So that would be 1,800,000, which is what we anticipated before. So we've now found the earnings by each particular beverage. And if you add up these three figures here at the bottom, you'd realize that you end up with the 7,200,000 for short, which is 7.2 million. All right, so that would be the first example that we're looking at with regards to pie chart. So I hope you guys found this video insightful, and I'll see you guys on the next video.